obviously pretty entertaining game to watch, I would imagine. It was a little tough from our dugout. I thought Grambling came out and just swung the bats extremely well. They got, I think, 3 big 2-out hits, and we kind of chip away trying to get back in the game, and they kept getting that hit, and finally got a couple of guys to come in there and slow them down. Cody Frank and obviously Brady Tigert. They knocked down the last 4 innings. I think maybe 2 1/3 for Frank or whatever it was, or maybe 2/3. He turned a double play maybe when he came in, but just a good job hanging in there. We were concerned about this game. A little bit of a trap game, traveling back, getting back late, big tournament, a lot of hoopla, big win on Sunday. Yesterday, we don't have a team practice, and you can just kind of thinking, how's this going to go? A lot of new players, and I thought offensively we did a pretty good job. I mean, this is some different type of pitching that we saw from that starter. We've seen him before a little bit. We tried to work at it and train them for him today and a little bit yesterday, but until you get up there and see that thing floating around, it's difficult when you're going from 95 mile an hour, 93, 95 every pitch to 72 to 78. It was a little deception, and I thought we did a really nice job of staying on some pitches, and I think we might have had 3 sac flies or advanced runners, and we did some little things that helped us win the game. And when you get behind 4 or 5 runs and the wind's blowing in, it's tough to hit home runs. I mean, we would have hit 2 tonight. Justin Burgers would have went out amazingly to center field, and I think the other one, Parker Rowland, drove one into left center that would have been a 2-run homer. So you're just hoping that maybe they kick a ball, boot a ball, make an error, and you got to take your walks, because we actually lined out 4 or 5 times, and just proud of the guys for hanging in there. I was just disappointed that we didn't do a better job with maybe from the third, 4th inning there, 5th inning, and a couple of older guys were out there, and they didn't have a good night, and the position players picked them up. So on to the weekend.
How pleased were you with the way that Josenberger played up? That he got on base every time, with the exception of the sac fly. Had a lot of 1st and 3rd moves. Yeah,
well, he'll run in your face, and that's what we've been working on, going 1st to 3rd, and he's the best at it. We know the arm strength of the other team's outfielders, and that makes a little bit of a difference. But he's a really good leadoff man. He's got some power. I mean, he hit a ball out of the big league park the other day that was just driven, and this ball was hit every bit as hard, and it didn't get out. So the elements, but he's got a good eye. He can handle the bat. He can bunt, steal bases. He brings a lot to the table, and he even the first couple of ball games when he didn't get on base much, or if any, he didn't get a hit, he was helping us. He was helping us by fouling off pitches and doing things. And then tonight, like you said, a couple of hits, sac fly, scored runs, a couple stolen bases, had a really good night.
Coach, how do you prepare for a pitcher like that that's throwing at a velocity you don't ever see?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, example, today's pregame batting practice on the field, and there was stuff going on before the game. Guys came in and hit early and were working on things, but we, in their 3 or 4 rounds, we didn't want them pulling the ball at all. Everything was opposite field, through the middle oppo. And, then maybe when you see a guy this slow, you end up pulling the ball, but you would have swung and missed if you hadn't worked at it. It definitely helped us. Tavian, his first at bat, he kind of went out of the zone, but he saw it good. He just tomahawked the ball up the middle, and Stovall hit a high ball up the middle, and it was a good job staying through the middle, and if guys throwing that slow, it doesn't have to be in the zone. It's maybe like normal, because you can get on top of it.
You mentioned a couple of your older pitchers struggled tonight. What did you see specifically from Morris and McIntyre both?
Well, they had trouble putting hitters away. A couple of 0-2 hits, and McIntyre gave up a couple of those the other night on Saturday that hurt in the 1st, 2nd inning. And he gave up another 1 or 2 today, and it seemed like that Morris did as well. And you're going to give up some. But, if you give up an 0-2 hit, it needs to be on a borderline pitch, down in the zone, away, in whatever, the location is supposed to be, and I don't know if that was the case tonight. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Coach, obviously McIntyre threw, Brady Tiger threw, and I think we saw Cody Adcock getting warm. Is it fair to say things are a little up in the air as far as who starts on Saturday?
Yeah, it'll be up in the air for a day or so. We'll figure it out. I think we'll probably still stick with Friday and Sunday the same, and just figure it out how we're going to handle Saturday. We might just TBA Saturday after what went on today.
And obviously Jones got to start again at third base, and you got Callie in there at the end. Was there any thought to maybe get Callie back in to see if you can get a rhythm with him, or did you want to just kind of get Jones some playing time?
A little bit of both. I wanted to get Callie in a bat or two. I was hoping we'd be up 7-0 after 5 and I could split it. But obviously I knew after one inning that wasn't going to be the case. And, Callie's, I think he's just he got sped up. And then you get in the box and all of a sudden you're 0-2 again. You start to get edgy. I mean, as a player, we've all been there, and you just need to slow down, get off to the side. And I think Jason's done a nice job. I mean, he didn't have a great night to play. He left a lot of runners on, and I just felt like we needed a left-handed hitter in that situation. And our guys know. I mean, you guys have seen a lot of our scrimmages, but McLaughlin's a good hitter, and he puts the barrel on the ball. And even that it was tough at bat. He really didn't get a good pitch to hit, and he kept fouling off borderline pitches, and then hit one fairly hard through the middle. Shortstop's playing up the middle, but I was planning on getting Callie in there.
Is it encouraging to see how Tiger's done for you the first couple of appearances?
Oh yeah, I mean he's been really, really good. I mean his outing the other night in Texas was the best I've ever seen him. If you just talk about all of his pitches, we've seen him dominate with the breaking ball, but I guess it was Friday night. He had them all working, and tonight he threw a lot of fastballs, threw some good breaking balls, and that top of their order, those guys aren't scared, man. They go up there and they take some borderline pitches and they swing hard.
Coach, you've seen 2 games out of Parker Rowland now. I'm just curious what your thoughts of him have been.
Parker's done a really nice job of catching. He's actually received the ball better in the 2 games against outside competition than he did in our scrimmages, and because that's where Polk was ahead of him. They're both. I said, I think before the season started that it was going to be a kind of a 2-headed monster back there. We're just going to let them both catch, and got a pinch run or match up. I think they both do a good job, and if a pitcher gives them an opportunity to throw a runner out, they both can throw it accurate. So he's done a good job.
And then, kind of going off his question about Tiger, Cody Frank, threw well tonight as well. Is that kind of what you're expecting from him? And
yeah, I think Frank, this was his best outing. This is his 3rd time out on the mound, and in 4 games, and that's the kind of guy he is. He likes to pitch, and we could start him if we needed to, because he's around the zone, and he's experienced, and he can spin the ball and sink it, and he want to pop you a 91, 92 mile an hour fastball, and he's very versatile, and it's not like we had him on the board to pitch tonight. We were hoping it'd be an inning. Tiger, he was on the board. We were hoping it would be an inning, but the way it worked out, just due to the score and the way Grambling was swinging the bat, those guys had to give us a couple.
You mentioned you were pleased with the offense. You had, I think, 3 inning-ending double plays. Did you feel like there was the vibe down at all in the dugout? Did you guys feel like you were still playing well?
Yeah, we felt like we were. Once we got it to, I think we got it to 7-5, base loaded, 1 out, and Jones got jammed on a fastball. I think on a 1-1 count. That was frustrating. He's young. He had seen a breaking ball and a fastball. The fastball was in, and they came in there again. It wasn't, but it was an 80 mile an hour fastball. And but that's the key to pitching, is moving the ball around, and if you can locate. But other than that, killing the rally and taking the momentum away from us, we still felt like we were going to win the game. Frank was on the mound, I think, at the time, and I don't know, we were getting ready to bring Brady in, and I felt like we were going to score because we had been having good at-bats where we weren't getting ourselves out, chasing pitches in the dirt and all that. And, you look at that strike zone, to me, that was pitcher strike zone tonight. Now, I'm not up there hitting, but that's what it looked like to me.
And you mentioned the sack flies, there were 4 of them that
Four,
scored runs
wow.
tonight. Just how pleased were you with that element of your game?
Well, anytime you score a run to the sack fly, and we double advanced, I think, did Tavians give us the lead and then advance the runner from second? I mean, if there's no win, that ball goes out of the park. I mean, he put a charge into it, and but that's all you want him to do in that situation is just get one in. And man, if you can get one over and one in, that's even better. We have the we can double our lead there with a runner at third in less than 2, and then Stovall smoked the ball in center field and made a great play on it.
What went to the decision to start Bybee, and how did you think he did tonight?
He threw a couple hitters the other day, and Tex did a pretty good job. A couple of other guys we put in that are young that were probably going to get a start didn't do so well. So we thought, hey, we'll start him. We thought max 3 innings. And he would have given us 3 innings if we had thrown 20-some pitches, 25, 28 in the first inning. But he could have gone out for the third. I think he was at 40-something. But we just said, nah, that's good.
Anything else for Coach? All right, Coach. Appreciate the time.
All right.